Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2022 Volleyball League of America Tier 1 Championships Tournament. Live from Chicago, Illinois, my name is Rob St. Clair. You are tuning into the Consolation match, an all-Western division battle between the Phoenix Ascension and the SoCal Rising Tide. These two teams have played each other 4 times this year in regular season play, and it's dead split at 2 matches each. So the stakes of this one not quite as high as our semifinals this morning, but pride definitely on the line, plus 1 additional spot in the all VLA season-long individual awards list, which we'll talk about later on. Both of these teams lost in the play-in bracket round last night, both 5-setters. The Rising Tide falling in a tight one to the Indiana Team Pineapple 15-10 in the 5th. And the Ascension losing an even tighter one to the Boston Bounce 15-13 in the 5th. Both these teams members of the very competitive Western Division of Tier 1 that played this year. The Rising Tide won that division. And before these two teams fly back to the West Coast later on this evening, going to try to end their seasons on a high note. The winner of this match finishing 5th place at the VLA Championships tournament. The teams are out on court. I'll go through the starting lineups for you, at least from what I can see. For the Rising Tide in blue, see Chris Kahn setting, Owen Chun at opposite, Aurelia Speller, John Predney at outside hitters, Deshaun Graham in at middle blocker right now. Ryan Radira will be the libero, and we will see who the second middle blocker will be for the Rising Tide in a couple rotations. And it looks like we're ready to go. Chris Kahns out of Long Beach City College serving for the Rising Tide. We are underway with a stuff block by Owen Chun. Really nice discipline right there by the left-hander, number 22 in blue. Owen Chun out of Concordia, Irvine, with the block against Sam Haggard on the off-speed that time, and the Rising Tide are on the board first. Repeat set to Haggard, cross-court dug by John Predney. Roll shot there by Haggard, nice location, and the off-speed read will get to the floor. So the Phoenix Ascension on the board in black on the near side of your screen. Captained by Vince Zanzuki. This is one of their young opposite prospects, Brendan Hart, 6'9", number 34 in black. Put some service pressure on there. Pretty good opportunity in transition for Phoenix. Haggard on the left side, blocked and covered. Douglas out of the back row, puts it away on the pipe combination, and Turner Douglas, number 14 in black, out of Arizona State with his first kill of the match. Brendan Hart once again, 6'9", out of Ottawa University, Arizona. Full-time opposite this weekend for Phoenix with no Brian Lewis. Brian Lewis, the lefty for the Ascension, has been their workhorse on offense all year at the opposite, but congratulations to him and his wife Sarah on the recent birth of their son, so they are back at home in Arizona. Douglas runs that one down off a light, still in play off the ceiling in this gym, and sent over as a free ball. Good block touch there. Hart out of the back row is rejected. Deshaun Graham combines with Aurelia Speller on the double block that time. John Predney back to serve, number 14 in blue, out of Concordia, Irvine as well. Just an outstanding all-around outside hitter. He's had a really good season for the Rising Tide. Wow, blasted away by Jonathan Bishop in the middle. Good delivery there from the Phoenix setter, Scott Wiest. And Bishop, another really hot young player. 6'7" middle blocker out of the University of Arizona. Sam Haggard to serve here at outside hitter for Phoenix. He and Turner Douglas both out of Arizona State. Chun hangs in the air, slaps it down the line, and a Phoenix net violation will end the point prematurely. Rest of the Ascension starting lineup: Scott Wiest, the setter out of Arizona State; Cody Montano, the libero out of Arizona. And we will see who their second middle blocker is in just a moment. That's served by Deshaun Graham, missed short. Chris Johnson into the front court at middle blocker, number 23 in blue for the Rising Tide. And it is Michael Freitag, number 31 in black for the Ascension at the second middle blocker spot. Chun, nice dig by Bishop down the line. Little indecision, but a free ball sent over here. And a misconnection there in the middle. Cons, I'm honestly not sure who that ball was intended to go to, either Johnson or Speller, and ends up being a Rising Tide error. So Phoenix takes a 1-point lead early on here in the first set in this best 3 out of 5 set match. Repeat set right there to Cons, drifting off the net, and a nice high degree of difficulty but beautifully located feed to Chris Johnson in the middle. Johnson out of Cal Baptist University, 6'10", spent some very legitimate time with the U.S. senior national team. Played a little bit of beach volleyball as well. Douglas down the line and in. Really nice high contact point right there by number 14 in black. And this particular version of the Ascension roster really getting a lot of mileage out of the local university club programs. Arizona and Arizona State combined, I think, produce 5 of the 7 starters here for the Ascension. It's pretty impressive. Speller over the block and in down the line. Nice rip right there by number 21 in blue, Aurelia Speller. Wisconsin native who played in college at Long Beach City College. So that is the Southern California connection. Aurelia normally an opposite, plays professionally just this past year, played in both Greece and Turkey at opposite, but suiting up at outside hitter this weekend. Rising Tide take the lead 7-6. Speller back to serve one more time. Over the tape, and it's going to be a lucky ace serve. Wow, I can't believe that thing found its way over the net. And it confused Scott Wiest, as it would just about anybody. Eight-6 Rising Tide. Speller again. This time misses it short. Good pass there by Predny. Cons to Johnson in the middle, and the paintbrush is effective. Ball set the tiniest bit too high, which is somehow even possible for Chris Johnson to be overset, but he got a fingertip on it, and it was good enough to score. Whoa, big block right there. Deshaun Graham in the middle of that one, along with John Predny, and they shut down Brendan Hart. Service error there by Johnson. The Ascension back within 2. Freitag serving. Mike Freitag out of Springfield College in Western Massachusetts. Good block right there. Brendan Hart swallows up that slightly tight set. Predny tried to tool it off the block. The number 34 in black was too far over. Nice move there, and it's a 1-point game. Wow, what a bomb down the line by Owen Chun, but that's actually missed out of bounds wide. Freitag doing a nice job there in position 5 defensively. Knew that if that ball was to his left, he can leave it out of bounds. Chopped 4-4 by Predny. Good transition opportunity here. Hart off the block and just out of bounds. So Phoenix in transition, grabbing a couple points. They actually take the lead here in the first, 11-10. Tight set there. Predny wins the joust. Freitag runs it down. This will be a free ball for the Rising Tide. Oh, another good defensive play, but unfortunately the Ascension block into the net will end that point prematurely. Rising Tide take the point and the tie at 11. Pretty good hand pass there by Douglas. Bishop is blocked by Johnson but covered. Right on the net, Predny wins the joust again, and that one's not coming back. Nice physical play there by number 14 in blue. So one of the things that's on the line in this match, I know it's the only difference is 5th versus 6th place, but after this event we will be naming the all VLA teams for the entire season. Transition look here for the Rising Tide. Really nice defense. Free ball back to SoCal. And good swing by Deshaun Graham in the middle, puts it away. So the all VLA teams will be 7 members of the first team and 7 members of the second team, plus an MVP of the season. And so that's influenced by this tournament for sure, but more so encompasses the entire season. Teams have numbers of spots on the first and second teams allotted based on their finish in this tournament. Wow, that's how somehow sent back over by Chun. Predny cross court does put it away for SoCal. The difference here between 5th and 6th place in terms of all VLA allotment, both of these teams are guaranteed 1 member on the all VLA second team, but the winner of this match will grab a second guy guaranteed on the all VLA second team. So, ooh, ace serve there, Chris Cons. So a little bit on the line in terms of personal awards in this match, in addition to finishing 5th versus 6th, and that will be a timeout called by the Phoenix Ascension. Nice run here on the serve of Chris Cons, and the Southern California Rising Tide lead 15-11 in the first. Ooh, inside set there to Haggard. And he misses it out of bounds, cross court out of the timeout, so the Rising Tide run continues. Con's doing a good job serving. Ooh, nice reaction by Deshaun Graham. He actually almost puts it in bounds on the Phoenix side, but the run is over. Ascension finally get that side out, and Hart goes back to serve. Oh yeah, I see the chat. A couple people there calling for Vince Zanzuki. I'm actually kind of surprised he's didn't start himself at center in this match. That is a service error by Hart. Actually a foot fault called, stepping on the service line. Oh my goodness, a free ball kill. Brendan Hart just sends it over short, and the Rising Tide just look at it as it falls. Nice defensive effort there by the Ascension against the attack of Graham. Free ball here for the Rising Tide. Speller, deep cross court, just barely out of bounds. Nice defense from the Ascension, and this is a team that plays their best when they are digging a lot of balls. Back within 3 here at 14-17. That swing by Speller on the end line, plus touched by the block. This Rising Tide team finished 2nd place at last year's VLA Championships, losing the final match to the Chicago Icemen. They will not quite get up that high again this season. Could have made a run at this thing, but Team Pineapple got it done versus the Rising Tide last night in 5 really competitive sets. Speller down the line again. The Rising Tide's offensive workhorse right now. Similarly, the Phoenix Ascension finished in 3rd place in the 2021 VLA Championships. Their best possible finish now is 5th if they win this match, so not quite the same finish for the Ascension either, but like we've talked about throughout this weekend, they are in the midst of a very well-documented rebuild. Just being here in the playoffs is a pretty good sign for this younger team. And a nice shot right there off the block and out of bounds by Turner Douglas. And Vince Zanzuki, the Phoenix captain, who just recently has been named the head coach of the Park University men's volleyball team, an NAIA team near Phoenix. So congrats to Vince on that, but in terms of his Ascension role, he knows that this team's in the middle of a rebuild. He's trying to bring the best of the Phoenix area volleyball together, and he's got a core around which he can build with a couple of these young players. Sam Haggard, Turner Douglas, even Brendan Hart at opposite as perhaps an eventual replacement for Brian Lewis. He's got Jonathan Bishop in the middle. He's got some talent coming up through the local college programs from Grand Canyon Division I all the way down. They've got a couple NAIA programs, a couple good college club programs. So this Ascension team, their rebuild maybe a little further ahead than some people thought. Overpass force there. Johnson takes a swing at it and puts it away as number 15 in blue, Alec Krillis, has entered the match for the Rising Tide as a blocking substitute for Chris Cons. And I see Brian Lewis watching in the chat. Hey, Bri Guy. Best wishes to you and Sarah and the baby back in Phoenix. Nice serving here from Speller. Hard 11 out of system swing, and he puts it away down the line. What an awesome shot. Got the outside fingertips of the block and inbounds on the line and the end line. That's a really nice swing. And the blocking sub here for SoCal will be undone. SoCal Rising Tide, founded by Daniel Davidson, who is here in the house on his team's bench, headquartered in Southern California. I think Irvine, to be exact. Oh, what a set by Cons. Incredible to get 2 hands on that ball and not touch the net, but Predney had to change up his approach and hit it out of bounds. Both of these West Division teams, founding 5 members of the Volleyball League of America. As the league came into existence in late 2019 and was promptly brought to a screeching halt by the COVID-19 pandemic. It's been great for this season in 2022 to finally put out the full season-long schedule that we've kind of had the vision of from the beginning. Get the exact number. This right here is match number 168 on the season. Just unbelievable. Good swing by Haggard there on the left side. This is match 168, the championship match coming up later on between the Chicago Icemen and the New York Legion. That will be match 169 of the 2022 VLA season. That is so much volleyball, and we are very proud of the sustained great level of play we've put on display ever since January of this year. Wow, Chun flying in out of the back row. The hang time on number 22, excuse me, in blue is really fun to watch. 23-19, Chris Cons and the Rising Tide closing in on a set 1 win here in the consolation match of the 2022 VLA Championships. Chun down the line off the edge of the block and out of bounds again at high contact points. So difficult to defend against, and that'll bring up set point as the Rising Tide grab one there in transition. Chris Cons will have the honors, who set in Denmark professionally this past year. And he is on the move to Spain this next club season, which is a really good contract. So congratulations to Chris. Reset there by Haggard. Net violation was outside the antenna, so legal. And Haggard gets his own rebound, puts it away. Nice individual play there by number 5 in black to save a set point. Hart to stay alive, cuts that one short. Not a good pass by Graham. That one will rattle around the ceiling and not quite make it back over the net to Phoenix. So good service pressure there by Hart, and his team stays alive just a little bit longer, 21 serving 24. Predney with a good pass. Chun for the set is stuffed straight down. Wow, Scott Weist and Jonathan Bishop with a big-time double block. And this set is not over yet. Timeout Rising Tide, 24-22. They'll still have a set point in reception when we come back, but the Ascension turning the momentum towards the long cactus men. We'll be right back. And out of the timeout, Hart commits the foot fault, and that will do it for set number 1. Good timeout there from the Rising Tide. They end up getting it done, and SoCal on the board here. 25-22, the set 1 score. Teams will change sides, and we'll go right back at it with more volleyball in set number 2 coming up from Chicago at the 2022 Tier 1 Championships.
Similar to the NBA, like, do you want to see the travel or do you want to see the jam? That's the way they're going to go. Because it's more about friendly for the fans. Because the fans you're trying to capture know nothing about the demo. I mean, the fans that are here with you guys, they're used to being called. But the new ones you're trying to attract, they're like, they want to see that big gap. I could easily call it. I mean, college matches, no problem. Oh no, I didn't. Very good. Yeah. I'm gonna get my teammate.
We are back with set number 2 live from the 2022 Volleyball League of America Tier 1 Championships from Chicago. This is the consolation match. The winner between the Phoenix Ascension and the SoCal Rising Tide will take home 5th place. SoCal leads the match 1-0. Pretty good transition opportunity here. Speller underneath that ball a little bit. Nice read by Haggard on the off speed. Good dig there by Haggard. Free ball opportunity here for the Rising Tide. Predney out of the back row, scooped up by Haggard again. Graham is rejected on the overpass swing. Wow, I mentioned in the last set, the Ascension plays their best ball when they dig a ton of balls. And that, almost every one of those plays was Sam Haggard individually. That was amazing, the defensive sequence there. That serve missed out of bounds by Haggard. Oh, nice cover there by Montano. Weiss, the setter, followed through and touched the net as he tried to send that one over on the 3rd touch. Oh, big block there. Chun and Johnson combined to shut down Turner Douglas. 4-1 start in this second set for the Rising Tide. Ooh, ambitious one-handed delivery from Scott Weiss, way too low for Bishop to send over, and the Rising Tide run continues. Hart ripping away out of the back row. He missed that one out of bounds. No touch. And a very quick timeout here to start the second set by the Phoenix Ascension. 6-1, the Rising Tide early lead.
How old are you? 7? All right. Actually,
Shout outs to our down official Dave Signs. Dave does a ton of work for the league, coordinating a lot of our officials, especially here in the Midwest. So him and Luis Ventura up on the stand right now. We love all of our officials. We couldn't play these matches without those guys. Guys and girls, of course. Off-speed shot there out of the back row for the Ascension. Gets it done. Owen Chun back to serve for the Rising Tide. 7-2 the start. Make it 7-3 as that ball served out of bounds. Perfect pass there by Speller. He'll get this ball on the left. Nice play by Weiss to pick it up. Shot over the top by Hart, takes the setter out of the play. Hittable ball for Speller, but a little too far off the net, and he misses it short. Really nice pickup there by number 17 in black, Scott Weiss. the full-time starting setter this weekend in the absence of Zach Melcher. Johnson in the middle is rejected. Freitag and Hart were all over that. Read that one like a book. And the Ascension right back in this thing, 5-7 after going down by 5 early on. Nice deep swing there from Speller, and Haggard in the right spot but couldn't quite handle it. Oh, beautiful dig by Ryan Radira, the libero for the Rising Tide, down the line. Tipped back over by Predny, and that pancake play not quite made. So, bit of a defensive miscommunication there for Phoenix. If you were watching last night in the Phoenix's 5-set loss to the Boston Bounce, you saw the gym conditions really be a factor. There was sky-high humidity percentages yesterday in Chicago, and the gym was extremely slippery. And so defense last night was definitely a question mark at best, but today the air conditioning has kicked in. It is beautiful in this gym right now. Traction much better. Oh, huge block right there by a Hart on Predny. Wow. Brendan Hart out of Ottawa University, Arizona, an NAIA program down near Phoenix. That blocking is an area of his game that he doesn't really need that much coaching on. He is making some good moves, getting way over the net. So Zanzuki, as he continues to engineer this Arizona rebuild, can just spend time coaching Hart on a couple other things. I think his blocking is ready to go at the VLA level. Tight pass, and that ball was in the plane, so it did get to the net, and when the Ascension touched it, that point was theirs because Chris Cons is a backcourt setter. Sure enough, Ascension right back within 1. It's 8-9. Nice response after a slow start to the second set. Tight set. Sure enough, Cons gave that ball right to Brendan Hart, who with no approach got up and blasted that thing inside the 3-meter line. Wow, highlight reel play there to tie things up for the Ascension, 9 apiece. Predny, deep cross court, puts it away. Nice response there for the Rising Tide. Wow, Brendan Hart starting to take over this game. Slowly but surely, big number 34 in black. Hammering a couple balls, blocking a couple balls. If he makes good hand contact and stays on top of the ball, he can create some pretty unstoppable angles. Confusion about which volleyball was being given to Freitag to serve right there. Huge shout outs to Mikasa, the official ball supplier of the VLA. Good block touch there. Graham is there in coverage. This will be a free ball though at best for Phoenix, played by Freitag. Wow, Hart again. Doing some really nice things on the right side for Phoenix right now, and the Ascension take the lead. Remember, it was 6-1. A 10-4 run in Phoenix's favor since then. Overpass by Speller, free ball opportunity here. Haggard through the block and down. The Ascension energy level has maintained pretty high despite some ups and downs and losing set number 1, and they're looking a lot better here in the second, sure enough. Tight set, wiped off the block and out of bounds by Predny. No, not out of bounds. Right on the sideline, Brendan Hart with another stuff block. And a timeout here from the Rising Tide. A heck of a response by Phoenix. After a slow start, it's 13-10. Timeout SoCal here in set number 2. Out of the timeout, Freitag continuing to serve for the Phoenix Ascension. 13-10, set number 2. And the Rising Tide end that run out of the timeout. Khan's back to serve, trailing by 2. Wow, what a stuff block by Deshaun Graham. Getting over big and slamming the door on Brendan Hart. Graham, who just finished up a professional season in Germany. Undersized middle blocker, but ridiculously dynamic. Bishop in the middle, dug nicely by Predny. Out of system swing coming here. He challenges the triple block, and he is roofed. That swing would have tied us up. Let the Ascension retake a 2-point lead. That serve out of bounds by Hart, not particularly close. Now it's Predny's turn. This is the last match of a very long season for these two teams, but only one of them will be flying back to the West Coast and ending their season on a win. What on earth kind of an offensive play was that? The front row, like crazy slide from Sam Haggard all the way to the right side off 1 foot. That is creative to say the least. It's unfortunate that he hit it out of bounds. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen that play before. We used to run it back in college. I was playing club at Purdue. We called it the J-ball. We'd pull it out like once a tournament at most. Okay, now the rest of the league is on notice. You're gonna have to do your scouting homework in case the Ascension pulls out the J-ball. That was amazing. Graham is stuffed by Bishop. Jonathan Bishop having himself a great rookie season. 16-14 Phoenix. And we will have a substitution in here on the Rising Tide side. Number 9 in blue, Wyatt Dimke, who's played well at middle blocker throughout the weekend. This time in for Deshaun Graham to serve. His float serve last night against Team Pineapple was really effective. Pretty good one there. Out of system swing coming here for Douglas. Really, really tight. That ball did not touch the block. That is an excellent call by Luis Ventura. That ball hit the tape on the Ascension side and not the Rising Tide block, so that'll tie us up at 16. Good block touch there by Johnson, but Bishop still fast enough to score that one off the hands and out of bounds. And once again, now we see the blocking substitution for the Rising Tide. Alec Krillis out of Concordia Irvine into block for Chris Cons. Owen Chun back to serve. Douglas blocked by Johnson. Krillis in the middle takes a swing at it and goes off the block and out of bounds. And Freitag is arguing that ball was in. Interesting. Krillis, a natural middle blocker. He's lining up in the middle here, and Chris Johnson goes to the right side. In this particular blocking rotation for the Rising Tide, Tide takes the lead actually at 18-17. Good rip there by Chun. Douglas again out of system. Straight up by Johnson and in on the Arizona sideline. Okay, the blocking substitution paying some serious dividends for the Rising Tide right now. 2 straight block points, or at least block-related points, and a 2-point SoCal lead. And the run is over as Chun missed that serve out of bounds, so Cons will come back into the match. Perfect pass there by Speller. Setter dump on the second contact. Chris Cons picking just the right time to take the offense into his own hands. Oh, another one. Cons has got 2 in a row. I love that. Ascension not even close to defending against either one of them.
Ralph, what do you have to score? Got it. You're both wrong. Bruce is wrong.
Right? Yep, 21-19 the score. Chris Johnson back to serve. See if we get another Chris Cons setter dump before he goes back to the backcourt. Hart slowed down by a block touch, but not slowed down enough. Predney with the left hand, and that's good enough to score. Wow, Predney using just about every tool in the Swiss Army knife there. It's 22-20. The Rising Tide started off hot. The Ascension came roaring back here in the second set, but now the Tide in control, looking to go up 2-0. Haggard dug nicely by Radira. Predney slowed down by the block. Good transition chance here. Oh, beautiful dig down the line by Cons, but into the ceiling off the second contact and couldn't be sent over on the third. So the Ascension still very much alive, only down by 1 with Brendan Hart serving. Oh, Graham missed it out of bounds, looking for a touch, and he's not going to get it, and we are tied. Hart again, good serve, and it's an ace into the seam. And the Ascension take the lead, 23-22, timeout Rising Tide, their second and final. Getting good here late in the second set of this consolation match. We'll be right back for the conclusion after this timeout.
He misheard what I said. I thought he was agreeing with Vince.
That is definitely a foot fault by Brendan Hart out of the timeout, called right away. And we are tied up at 23 apiece. Must win by 2, so the first team to get 2 points clear from here on out will take the second set. This is overtime volleyball. Ton of fun to watch, so back and forth, and it'll be the Ascension who have the first chance to win the set. Set point at 24-23, but they've got to do it on their serve. It'll be Sam Haggard with the honors, number 5 in black. Really good serve, handled by Predny. Speller to stay alive, high into the block and down on the Ascension side. Wow, that one popped straight up in the air off the 3-man block, and nobody could look up and locate it fast enough. .24 apiece. Deshaun Graham's turn to serve. Good cross-court swing there by Douglas inside the block, and he puts it away. And another set point coming up for Phoenix. And now, fans watching in the chat, you've been asking for it. Here he is, Vince Zanzuki, in as a service substitute to come in and play some defense on Phoenix's set point. Let's see if Vince can pull out a little bit of heroism. Not this time, as a perfect pass goes through the middle to Chris Johnson. And we're still going, 25 apiece here in the second set. Pretty good serve there by Chun. Douglas sends over what's sort of a free ball. Chun out of the back row, dug beautifully by Haggard. Douglas down the line and in. Nice transition there from Phoenix. Sam Haggard in exactly the right spot on defense. Scott Wiest serving now for the set, 26-25. Can the Ascension end it right here? Khan's the front court setter. We've seen him dump a couple balls in this set. Speller run down by Montano off a block touch. Douglas gonna have a swing for the set right here, and he's stuffed by Johnson and can't be covered. That set came off a little bit too tight. And a good disciplined block by one of the best in the business, number 23 in blue. We are still going, 26 apiece. Good rip there from Speller, but an even better pass. Hart deflected off, I think, the block and the defense on its way out of bounds, and Phoenix will have another set point coming up here. Fun back and forth second set here. I know it's a consolation match, but it's still good high-level volleyball. Johnson in the middle, no doubt about it. Set point saved. $27 all. 5:33 yesterday, yes. The Icemen beat the Rising Tide in the second set, 35-33 in their pool play match yesterday. That was a marathon. Wow, Hart going for the craziest angle. Ridiculously sharp cross court, and he missed it just out of bounds. Honestly, it wasn't out of bounds by that much, but that's pretty much an impossible shot. That error gives a set point chance now to the Rising Tide. Chris Johnson serving at 28-27. Haggard to stay alive. Roll shot kept alive by Chun, but thrown back off the net by Freitag off the block and down. $28 apiece, with the Rising Tide has taken a narrow advantage. And they're going to have another set point coming up after that serve missed out of bounds. Kahn serving for the set for the Rising Tide. Bishop to stay alive right on the sideline. What a set by Scott Wiest as well. Awesome side out play there from Phoenix. We're still going. It's 29 apiece. Can Hart put this serve in play? Keeps his feet behind the line that time, but the tape barely too high for that serve to get past it. Now Predney will serve for the set for SoCal. 30 serving 29. Good pass there by Haggard. Tight set, but Haggard deals with it smartly. Tipped off the block of Chun and down. And we're still going. 30 apiece. How deep will we go into overtime? Haggard to serve, going with the jump spinner. Pretty good pass by Radira. Chun slowed down by the block, transition chance. Douglas, what a stab by Radira, but a defensive miscommunication again for the Rising Tide. Indecision on who's going to go grab that ball, and now Phoenix has another set point. That's a shame. That was some really good defense by Ryan Radira, number 1 in white for SoCal. But Haggard now serving for the set. It's 31-30. Good pass there by Predney. Chun down the line, puts it away again. We are once again tied up. Graham keeps that float serve in play. Good pass from Douglas. Douglas through the Rising Tide block and down on their side. Another set point coming up here for Phoenix. Now it's Jonathan Bishop. See if he can end it. 32-31. Chun to stay alive. Slowed down by a touch. Arizona's going to have a swing for the set here. Douglas, cross court and out of bounds. That was a pretty good look, but they couldn't quite get it done, and SoCal survives. It's 32 all. Can Chun grab a point on serve? Tight pass from Douglas, and Speller touched the net while attempting to block the setter. So another Phoenix point, another Phoenix set point coming up. 33-32. I wonder what, off the top of my head, I don't know what the VLA record is for most points over 25 in a set, but we can be getting pretty close. We saw 35-33 yesterday. 33-32 right now. Wiest for the set. And he misses it short. Let's see if Speller can grab one on serve here for the Rising Tide. Yes, he can. A lucky tape trickler ace serve off the net and down, and SoCal has a set point at 34-33. Speller for the set. Rotation 1 receive here for Phoenix. This might be the rotation to do it. Good pass. What a swing down the line by Turner Douglas. Just beautiful inside-out shoulder action to find that line. And we're still going. It's 34 all. This is we know this will be the longest set of the weekend. I don't know if I want to speak it into existence, but we're getting closer and closer to 40 points. Predney high into the hands, covered by Cons. Dug cross court nicely by Montano. Haggard dug down the line off the touch by Chun. And that a setting mistake there by Cons. Set too tight, right into the waiting arms of Brendan Hart, who taps it down. It's 35-34 Phoenix. Wow. Predney, dug by Montano. Could this be it? Haggard, dug by Speller. Speller, dug by Douglas, into the ceiling and down. Oh my goodness, I thought the set might end right there, but we're still going. It's 35 all. Crazy. I remember what seems like 3 years ago, and it was 23-23. Oh my goodness. $35 apiece. I can't believe that scoreline. Chris Johnson serving. Good pass there. Good dig by Chun. Oh, I thought that might catch the sideline, but it is a kill for Michael Freitag of the Ascension. Set point Phoenix again. Perfect pass by Speller. Predney high into the hands. Cons takes a swing and puts it away. The front court setter. Yeah, good question, Mikey, in the chat. Wonder what's the highest points in a set in VLA history. We've got to be getting close if this isn't already the record setter. It's 36 all. This is nuts. 72 points total and counting. Bishop is blocked in the middle by Graham. What a one-on-one play by number 10 in blue. And now SoCal will have another set point. Oh, I can't wait to go back to this one later and just count the number of set point chances each team had. Could this be it? Repeat set is dug by Cons. Chun for the win. Puts it away off the defense and away. Oh my goodness. 38-36. Unbelievable. The Rising Tide win a marathon that very well may be the longest set in VLA history. Just incredible. 38-36. The Rising Tide take a 2-0 lead. And now the question is, did the Ascension have anything left in the tank? We talked about it yesterday because the Rising Tide actually lost a crazy marathon set, 35-33, and afterwards they just kind of laid down and didn't have the energy to attempt to make a comeback down 2-0 after a marathon like that. Can the Ascension bring it all the way back? Teams will change sides. We got more volleyball for you. Don't go anywhere.
They're up 2-0. No, they're whatever the side is. Yeah, just make it easy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a treat. 38-36 in the second set, taken by the Rising Tide. They lead it 2-0 here in the match. Consolation match where the winner takes 5th place in the tournament. And I mentioned earlier that in the next day or two, the all VLA teams will be announced for the season. And the number of players a team gets on the all VLA first and second teams is determined by where they finish in this tournament. So both of these teams guaranteed 1 player on the all VLA second team. The winner of this match will get 1 additional player on the all VLA second team. So that's one of the things on the line here. Also, don't forget, coming up later on, the championship match of the entire season, match number 169, will decide the championship between the Chicago Icemen and the New York Legion. You will not want to miss that at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. Ready to go here with set number 3. Chris Cons for the Rising Tide with a 2-set lead. Back to serve. Bishop bombs away in the middle. I have just loved watching Jonathan Bishop play this year. Actually a homecoming for Bishop, Chicago area kid. Went to the University of Arizona. Tight set to Predney, run down nicely by Bishop. Transition chance here. Douglas high off the fingertips and out of play. And a perfect start for the Ascension here in the third set. They lead 2-0. Nice defensive play there by Bishop in position 5. Looks like Aurelia Speller has successfully tied his shoes so we can play some volleyball again. Ooh, Chun tried to go crazy sharp cross court from the left side that time, but the tape got in the way. And the start for the Ascension continues at 3-0. We were talking about yesterday, so often when you see the situation like this where you've got a crazy marathon set, like a 38-36, for example, the loser of that set is often so demoralized. They have a tough time coming back in the match. There's Deshaun Graham in the middle for the Rising Tide, but the Ascension seem to be in pretty high spirits here despite being down 2-0. Good rip down the line there by Predney. Thought it might have caught a piece of the line, but called out of bounds. Speller, I think he missed that out of bounds down the line. Yes, no touch. So the Ascension start is 5-1. Impressive. Good block touch there against Chun, but sent back over to the Rising Tide. Ooh, Chun wasn't there in transition. Free ball Ascension. Bishop in the middle. Oh, excuse me, that's Freitag with the kill, number 31 in black. Speller slowed down by a block touch. Transition look here. Douglas wipes it off the block and out of bounds. Nice choice by number 14 in black. The Ascension run continues. It's 7-1. Stuff blocked by Freitag. Hart there as well, a big double block. Shuts down Aurelia Speller. It is 8-1 Phoenix. And the Rising Tide called timeout. Very surprising start here to the third set, considering the 38-36 marathon won by SoCal in the second. Chun dug by Montano out of the timeout. Another opportunity here for Phoenix, but the stuff block is there. Deshaun Graham shuts down Douglas that time, and the run is over. It'll be 2 serving 8. Middle attack effective once again. Freitag through the block of Johnson. Wow, what a set from Cons to Johnson. I love watching those two guys run an offense together. It seems like the further off the net Cons is, so with a less perfect pass, the better his connection with Johnson becomes. Good serve there by Chun, passed off the net. Haggard will take an out-of-system swing, looking for fingertips, and is not going to find him there. Perfect pass there by Montano. Haggard on the inside ball, followed through and touched the net, at least I thought. Yes, good call. Definitely a net violation by Sam Haggard on the follow-through of his swing. So the Rising Tide slowly clawing back after a very slow start. Chun serving well. Speller over the block, missed out of bounds, no touch. So the Ascension grab another one back on serve. Their lead is 6. Johnson, that ball was touched by the block in the middle, and Cons takes the swing. Yep, that's, couldn't agree with Vince Zanzuki more. Sam Haggard turned around saying, we didn't touch that, we didn't touch that. And Zanzuki says, it doesn't matter, the whistle didn't blow, you better play volleyball. And the Ascension stopped and allowed Chris Cons to have a free swing. Also, for the record, I thought that ball was touched. Six serving 11 for Aurelia Speller. Good pass there by Radira. Predny controlled by a block touch. One-handed feed to the outside to Haggard. Tipped over the top, sent back. Yes, free ball is good. Chance here for the Ascension. Covered off the block again. Bishop in the middle. What a dig by Chun. Right off his chest. But eventually to the floor, and a pretty good rally won there by the Ascension. Ooh, yes, an ace serve. Brendan Hart shanked by Speller into the ceiling and took an unlucky Rising Tide deflection. And the lead is 8, 14-6. That ball served out of bounds, well dodged by Chun in the backcourt. Just did a quick search through our database for all matches, at least this season, and can confirm that 38 points in a set is the highest of any match in the VLA in 2022, or of any set that is. That is sort of barely missed out of bounds by Haggard. So yeah, sure enough, a record-breaking set 2 here in the Consolation match, the second to last match of the year, delivered a 38-36 second set. That is the longest set of any, at the very least this season. Good shot right there by Chun in transition to get Rising Tide just 1 point closer. 6-point game right now. Khan's the setter back to serve. Nice dig there by Predny. Speller out of the back row finds a tiny seam in the block and puts it away. And these two teams stylistically rather similar, and that's in general when they play their best volleyball, it's when they're digging a bunch of balls. And that was a very good defensive play there for the Rising Tide that turned into a break point. 10 serving 15. Ace serve, the lucky tape trickler by Khans. Couple of those that we've seen now. $11 serving 15, the correct score. Let's see if Khans can follow that ace up with a more organic one. Tight pass, Graham wins the joust. Douglas takes a swing, somehow kept alive, back to Phoenix. Oh, really nice play. Scott Wiest on the reverse setter dump. Nice joust play earlier in that rally as well. And Predny asking our up official Luis Ventura about a potential lift call. He's not going to get one. Predny chisels inside the block and puts it away cross court off the defense. Work not done yet for the Rising Tide, despite being up 2-0. They trailed by 4 here in the third, looking to end their season with a win. Overpassed, good chance here for Khans. Speller blocked and can't be covered. Nice move there by Wiest and Freitag. Good pass there by Speller. Graham rolled in the middle, picked up by Wiest. Hart stays behind the ball. That definitely touched the block, and Hart takes a swing at it again and puts it away. The ball definitely touched the block, as in those situations where it catches the tape and some of the block and comes back, it almost always touches the block, and the smart move is to let the play go on. Sure enough, the Ascension continued to play that time, and they take the point. Wow, Chun so high up in the air. Especially with his timing. He gets up there, hangs, waits a split second, and then swings. That timing is confusing the Ascension blockers just a bit. Freitag in the middle finds the sideline again. Wow, huge stuff blocked by Brendan Hart. Way over the net, and good right hand discipline again, not to get tooled. Aurelia Speller put down that time. Easy serve there. Chun high off the block of Freitag and out of bounds on the Rising Tide side. Here's Chun to serve. Rising Tide running out of time here. Down by 6 in the third. Good pressure there. Tight set to Hart, and he tips it into the antenna before it touched the block. So a Rising Tide break point. And we're going to see Alec Krillis come in once again as a blocking sub. This was really good for the Rising Tide in set 2. They got, I think, 3 points in this rotation. Let's see if they can do it again. And you can't bring the block into play if you don't serve the ball inbounds. So that substitution will be undone. Chun out of the back row, destroyed down the line. That is a piece of magic right there. Crazy dynamic, number 22 in blue. That was a foot fault by Speller, plus a serve short into the net. The rare double service error. Ace serve, yes, Brendan Hart. Perfect. Nothing SoCal could do about that one. This set's looking like it's over. It's 23-16 Phoenix. We'll be going at least 4 here in the match to decide 5th place. Whoa, what a block by Graham. Predney there as well. That is a huge move to shut down Jonathan Bishop. Repeat set to Bishop, looking for fingertips, but he missed it out of bounds this time. Graham doing a good job blocking to force the issue. This is not necessarily over yet. 19 serving 23, but the Ascension just need 2 side outs. Good block touch there, but unable to be run down by SoCal. That will bring up set point for the Phoenix Ascension. 24-19, Haggard with the honors. Tries to cut that one short and not particularly close, so 1 set point saved. But now it is all up to Chris Cons to try and keep this set alive for the Rising Tide. Douglas through the block, deflects out of bounds, and that will do it. The Phoenix Ascension on the board here in the match, a set after losing a marathon 38-36 in the second. They take the third 25-20. Can the Ascension keep up this momentum, or will the Rising Tide take it in 4? We will find out in just a few minutes as the teams change sides in preparation for set number 4. We'll be right back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, for set number 4. The Rising Tide off to a quick 2-0 start. Looking to end their season with a win. Not very many teams get to end their season with a win. Really, it'll only be the winner of this match and the winner of the championship later this afternoon between the Icemen and Team LVC. Hart out of the back row, deep cross court, barely out of bounds. And Ascension yet to get on the board here in the 4th. Douglas blocked and covered. Douglas again, dug by Predny. Speller high off the hands, run down nicely by Hart. Haggard out of the back row comes flying in and takes a swing at it, puts it away off the block and out of bounds. Nice back and forth volleyball there, and the Ascension are on the board. Also, Wyatt Dimke, number 9 in blue, gets the start at middle blocker this set for the Rising Tide. June off the block and out of bounds. We'll make it 4 serving 1. Nice swing there by Johnson through the block and down. Rising Tide's lead is 3. Off the block and out of bounds. Turner Douglas has really got that nice inside out shoulder action to be able to hit that line on the right side. That's not an easy swing. He looks really comfortable with that. Wow, what a stuff block by Haggard with Freitag there as well. Chun had to broad jump exceptionally far to take a swing at that ball. And he got the door slammed in his face. Douglas back to serve, Ascension within 1. Nice rip by Speller on the left side. And Johnson celebrates because he knows that he drew the middle blocker away from that play and opened things up for his outside hitter. That is the role of the middle blocker sometimes. Not the most glorious position, but certainly an important one. June goes for the off speed out of the back row, but can't quite get it over the tape. And that ties us up at 6. Predny, sharp cross court, missed it out of bounds, but a Phoenix net violation on the block before the ball was down gives Rising Tide the point and the lead. Wow, what a set from Weiss to Bishop. low and off the net. Flicked it out of his hands quick in the perfect spot. Really good pass there by Radira. Predny dug beautifully by Montano. Haggard tipped in transition. That'll have to come over on the third contact. Bishop in the middle again, slowed down. Speller out of the back row in transition. Nice play there from both teams, really. I love that set choice from Chris Cons. With all your front court players transitioning so fast from blocking to attacking, the only guy who didn't have to worry about blocking is your backcourt middle attacker. Nice pass there by Douglas. Haggard over the block, deep cross court, and he puts it away. Wow. If Haggard did, in fact, go straight over the top that time, that is a really remarkable swing. Predny with a nice controlled shot down the line, gets the Rising Tide out of rotation one. Good read on the setter dump. Wow, Speller one step ahead. Not a bad choice by Wiest, but an even better stop. It's 10-8 SoCal. Nice block touch here, good transition opportunity. Speller, really nice play by Montano, but negated by a net violation again. A libero's worst nightmare is to sell out with your body to make a good defensive play, only for it to not matter because your teammate touched the net. That is a bummer. Douglas on a tight ball on the outside, and once again he swipes it off the block of Chun and out of bounds. Talk about right hand block discipline a lot for a right side blocker. Got to be really rock solid with that right hand, otherwise you're just a launching pad to get tooled just like that. Chun off speed, beautifully touched. Montano had no chance. Ace serve, Owen Chun perfectly in the seam between Douglas and Montano. Rising Tide lead is 4, looking to win their last match of the season. Oh, what a set by Kahn. Speller dug by Montano, and a good effort there by Douglas. but he just barely runs out of room. Man, Chris Kahn's not a tall setter, about 6'1". So good at extending up on those tight balls, contorting his body to get two hands on it without touching the net. That is not easy. Chun serving really well right now, 15-10 SoCal. Oh, pretty close again. Oh, beautiful dig by Montano. And an even better block. Pretty good swing chance for Brendan Hart off the set of Sam Haggard, but Johnson and Speller were there. 16-11 SoCal. Oh, Haggard puts that one away off the block touch. Speller froze in position 6 for a quick second. Oh, that's an ace serve. Yes, Michael Freitag right down the line with the floater and inbounds, and that's right in front of the Rising Tide bench, and I hear no arguments. Freitag again looking to bring his team back into this thing. Can't quite do it there. The Rising Tide lead will be 4. Getting closer to the end here, at least of this 4th set. This is the last match of the season for both of these teams. Who is going to go home on a high note? Oh, shank pass by Douglas, an ace serve for Chris Johnson. (18-13) now. Haggard smartly chopped across his body off the block and out of bounds. Both Phoenix outside hitters having some success right now, utilizing the Rising Tide block to their advantage, able to tool that outside hand. Here's Hart to serve, trailing by 4, needing some service heroics, and that is a foot fault. Plus missed out of bounds anyway, the rare double service error. And we're going to have Vince Zanzuki come in for Brendan Hart. So I think what we're going to see here is Zanzuki will set the offense, and Wiest, the starting setter, will play the next 3 rotations at opposite. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to see. And immediately Zanzuki with the quick feed to Jonathan Bishop for the kill. You've waited this long, ladies and gentlemen. You've got a somewhat full-time version of Vince Zanzuki's setting. He is 1 for 1 in side-out chances. Haggard here serving against the Rising Tide's rotation 1. Dimke in the middle, tip to the floor in front of Zanzuki. Seen Vince play 3 positions in his career, setter, outside hitter, and libero, but apparently none of those mean you can play any defense. That was not touched by the block, but even if it was, the block was good, unable to be covered. So the Rising Tide closing in right here, 21-15 with Predney serving. Douglas covered off the block. Zanzuki will go again. Quickly to Bishop, and he's dug by Cons. Speller cross court off Montano and out of play. And the Rising Tide are 1 step closer. It's 22-15. Ooh, not a good pass there by Douglas. Haggard can run it down. Free ball here for SoCal. Ooh, the back one to Chun was beautifully read by Douglas and stuffed one-on-one. Interesting. I haven't seen the Rising Tide attempt that play all weekend, but Douglas was ready for it. Bishop serving here. Zanzuki still in as the setter for the Ascension. Wow, what a thump to the floor by Wyatt Dimke, number 9 in blue, out of McKendree with the blast right there. He'll go back to serve, and his team is 2 points away from a 5th place season finish. Ooh, not out by much. And Zanzuki will come back to the bench. Brendan Hart in at opposite, and Wiest will resume duties as the full-time setter. Not a great pass by Speller. It's out of bounds just over the antenna on the Ascension side. That's weird. Brilliant set by Cons again, but a transition opportunity is shut down by Chris Johnson. And that will bring up match point. 24-18, the Rising Tide are 1 point away from ending their season with a win. And we'll see the blocking sub, Alec Krillis, for Chris Cons one more time. Owen Chun to serve, rotation 1 receive for the Ascension with their last gasp. And that serve missed by Chun, out of bounds. So Cons will come back in for one more play. Rising Tide 1 side out away from the win. Douglas to serve, puts it in play, not handled well by Speller. This will be a free ball here for Phoenix. Hart missed it out of bounds, trying to go down the line. No touch called. The Rising Tide get to 25, and that is it. The SoCal Rising Tide end the season in 5th place. They defeat the Phoenix Ascension 3-1, 25-19 in the 4th, featuring a VLA record longest set at 38-36 in the 2nd set. That was a thriller, and it's the Rising Tide that end their season with a win. Huge congratulations to both these teams for making the playoffs and for their great performances. It's been a blast to watch them all season long, all over the country. But that will do it. The Rising Tide finishing in 5th, the Ascension in 6th. And we'll have some photos taken. And that sets us up for one more match. Match number 169 on the year will be for it all. The Chicago Icemen versus the New York Legion, Team LVC, coming up in just about 40 minutes, 3:30 local time, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. The Icemen and Team LVC will square off for the championship. You will not want to miss that one, ladies and gentlemen. But that will do it for us for now. We will see you for the championship in just about 40 minutes time. Thanks very much for watching.
Hi, Mom.